I made a song with just white noise, and it sounds like this. I'll show you the whole song in just a sec, but first I want to get into how I did it. So I started with the Serum white noise in stereo. That's it. That's the only bit of audio that I used. One of the first things I made was this texture, like this lossy texture. So I put the sound through a glitch generator and then chroma and then a spectral gate. So after I had that sound, I put it through Cryogen, another glitch generator, and scrolled through some presets and bounced the audio, and then I chopped it up. Next, I made some crashes and risers. So I used Serum 2 as a sampler, not to generate any audio, and I used the little trick where you loop a small section of audio and it generates a tone to make this little plucky lead sound, almost mimicking like a piano. And as you can see, I have a very long, redundant, at times, effects chain, and that's just kind of part of the process for me. I just do whatever is needed regardless of efficiency. Next, I made this string patch, which I did a similar Serum 2 sampling. I just changed a few of the parameters, like I made the envelope have a longer attack time and added some more distortion and EQ'd it a little differently. Next, I made this plucky arpeggiated synth. I basically just tried to mimic a basic, like, filtered synth pluck, and it turned out pretty good. Next, I made this droning pad sound just by adding a bunch of reverb and chroma to some white noise, surprise, to basically make it lush and then snap it to the key of the song. So in the next section of the song, it gets a bit more intense and it drops. And so I made a very like screamy lead. Basically did the same thing that I did for the other lead earlier in the song. Then I just added some more distortion and EQ'd it a little differently and added some other little effects like some extra chorus and reverb to make it bigger. After that, I added some saws, which I basically made by doing the same thing as the strings, but I EQ'd it and distorted it a little differently. I don't know if you're seeing a pattern. Kind of basically just shaping it into what I needed. And then alongside that, I just filtered some white noise just to give a little more presence to this like super saw sounding drop. After that, I made a bass line using the same sampling method as the leads and other melodic parts of the song. This one was a little more bare bones, and then I pitched it down to, be a bass and added a bit of like a top end to it to give it like that Reese feeling. Then finally onto the drums, where I made this kick basically the same way you would synthesize a kick normally, just I had to use white noise to start with it. So I got the coarse pitch to do the little doo sound, added a transient shaper, refire to make it a bit bigger and louder and hit harder. And after that part, I made a transient for the kick, basically by pitching up a small section of white noise and making it a bit more clicky, and then layered them together and they sounded like this. After that, made the snare in a similar way, did the same thing as the kick, but just higher up. EQ'd it to have a bit more brightness, and then layered in a little tiny bit of white noise, and then it sounded like this. Lastly, the open hi-hat, which I really liked a lot, actually. All I did was take a little snip of white noise, add a volume envelope on it, put it through a transit patch, which basically had a really fast delay that gave it that sort of metal sound that it needed. And this is what it sounds like altogether. This was a great idea. I had a ton of fun doing this. It was a great way to challenge myself and kind of get myself focused because I haven't been writing a whole lot this past week. Just haven't been feeling very focused or feeling like it. So this challenge kind of had me locked in and excited to be making stuff. So I think I'm gonna do more of these challenges like this, especially when I need it, like when times where I'm not writing as much. And I recommend you do the same. It's really fun. The samples and stems for this are gonna be up on the old Big P website for you to download. And let me know what you think of this, and if you have any other like weird challenge suggestions or whatever. And I'll see you next time.